Do any of you guys have any other like conspiracies that you thought were particularly insane, or particularly like, why are we killing all these people, for example? Like, that's one of the things I love about the show, is it's just like, yeah, we're just gonna blow people away. Like, you know, we don't.
I think that, I mean, in this, you know, I got nothing really to say here. I just want to hear this sound. Star Wars, I see guys, Darth Vader walking around. You got the black and you got the white. You got right, wrong, black, white, good versus evil. And in every, you have good and bad politicians. You have good and bad people in every profession in the world. And, you know, this show has a couple characters that, you know, are sort of uncompromising in their principles. They're a very odd couple. And lightning in a bottle here. You got a couple brilliant writers and creators and great writing team, and it's amazing how they continually pull things from our characteristics. I spent a lot of time down here in San Diego, going down to Coronado, and spending time with the SEAL Team 1 and 3, and going over you know, all the operations and seeing some great heroes. And you know, they're a bunch of good guys, and they kill a lot of bad guys. And so I've kind of drawn a lot of that from my character. But the show, what was beautiful about it is it's a very universal show, that we're all people of interest. That we all have a universality there, it's for the common good. Superhero show, I guess, but real.
It is really a superhero show, and that was another thing I wanted to ask the cast is, when you're playing these characters, are you thinking of it in the context of comic book themes, like a kind of exaggerated view of the world, or do you feel like it's realism? Are you aiming for something where you feel like what you're portraying is really gritty and real? Or maybe a combination?
Always real for me.
It's always real, but I'm not afraid to put on a cape.
At season 3, Taraji. Yeah. As a matter of fact, I look good in spandex.
Oh, no. No. I just got a visual. No.
So Jonah, where did the idea for this show come from? What were you thinking about when you dreamed up this idea?
A variety of different places. I mean, I'd grown up in England, and the surveillance cameras went up really early there in the 80s. There were surveillance cameras everywhere. And my friends and I realized very quickly that no one was watching them. So we could get up to our usual shenanigans. And then I moved to the States, and there weren't. I moved to Chicago in '87, and there weren't cameras anywhere. I mean, you had, an occasional surveillance camera in a convenience store or something like that, but it wasn't like London. There weren't cameras up all over the place. And then in the last 10 years, that's changed. That's really changed. And now the question for me was, when we were kids in London, we knew they'd hired 2 overworked police officers to watch 10,000 cameras. So the odds were no one was watching if you were setting fire to a garbage can or something like that. Not that I would do anything like that. The question for me became, well, who's watching them now? And the answer ultimately is, well, it isn't going to be human beings. If you're going to watch 10,000 cameras or 1 million cameras, or as someone smarter than us counted in New York and came to the conclusion that there is now an uncountable number of cameras just in Manhattan. The question is, well, who's watching them? And what are they doing with that information? I was just kind of fascinated by that idea.
And so for the crew, for the cast, do you guys think of it as being kind of a vigilante action? Like, are you guys vigilantes against a kind of surveillance state, or are you more like working within it to subvert it? What do you think, Michael?
I think they're vigilantes. I don't know if they would describe themselves that way, but they're playing the landscape they're dealt, or they're playing their skill set. And Mr. Finch has a really strong skill set that has to do with cybernetics and surveillance. So that's his best tool, and he's going to use it and ride the cutting edge of technology for good.
So far.
I think for Carter, like, I think that goes against everything she believes in, being a vigilante. But if you are a person that upholds the law, I mean, don't you want to stop something bad from happening if you could? I mean, like, any good human would want to do that. If you could prevent a bad crime from happening, whether you're a cop or not, wouldn't you want to? I would, with the right gun and my cape.